Want to laugh at Communist News Network? Because I want to laugh at Communist News Network. Network-wide purge. Communist News Network staffers panic as woke employees' heads roll under new company chief. Let me just reiterate my point from that I've been repeating for weeks now. CNN is done. Like, there's actually no turning this ship around. They have a pretty big problem that there's no solution to. So they already chased away everyone who's not a far-left lunatic. Their only remaining audience is far-left lunatics. That's it. Now they're trying to pivot back to center, which is costing them to lose their far-left lunatic audience. And the moderates and conservatives they chased away don't trust them and aren't coming back. So CNN is done. Like, if I was Zaslav, I would actually fire everybody at CNN, maybe sell off the CNN brand name to somebody else. Like, oh, if anyone else wants to use this garbage, they can use it. And then I would use all of the physical infrastructure that I'd still own, and I would launch a completely new network that doesn't have any of the baggage that CNN had. Like maybe Discovery News or something. I don't know what the hell they'd call it. Like that's the best way they could at least make something from the assets they bought. I mean, right now, the CNN brand is completely toxic. It's not going to come back. The people they chased away are not going to come back, and their current audience is now leaving. But it's still going to be funny to watch all these wokies get fired in the meantime, though. Employees at the Communist News Network are reportedly panicking as Chris Licht, the company's new chairman and CEO, is continuing to cut some of the network's most hyper-partisan leftist quote-unquote talent. I love the quotes. Man, Daily Wire's great. The Daily Mail reported that staffers from the far-left network, which is trying to become more nonpartisan, fear a network-wide purge of woke talent at the company. Well, if you're not woke, you got nothing to fear. Yeah, people are freaked out. One CNN journalist said it almost feels like there's a pattern. Is there a purge going on? They seem to be sending a message. Watch what you say. Watch what you do. Yeah, imagine if they were doing this from the start. They could have avoided all this. Longtime Communist News Network personalities are disappearing, and the viewers don't know why. Another Communist News Network employee said. A producer for the network said it was an unsettling time from top to bottom at Communist News Network, and no one is happy right now. Well, you could quit before you get fired. The panic comes after Communist News Network parted ways with hard left White House correspondent John Harwood this week following hyperpartisan remarks from Harwood, including a twat in which Harwood claimed Brandon's assertion that Trump and extremist Republicans pose a threat to American democracy is undeniably true. Good. During the current year minus 6 presidential campaign, Harwood reached out to Hitler's campaign chair, John Podesta, and asked him, what should I ask Jeb? The Hill noted at the time that Jeb Bush, at the time the email was sent, was leading the Republican contender to take on Clinton. Oh, but the news is bipartisan, or it's nonpartisan, guys. They're totally not just the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. Harwood's departure comes weeks after former Communist News Network reliable sources host Brian Stelter, who allegedly he's in his mid-30s, though he doesn't look a day over 50. Now, recorded his last show and exited the network. Stelter's exit reportedly came at the behest of CNN chief Chris Licht, who took over the network in February after Zucker's exit. Licht has reportedly been driving Communist News Network towards adopting a more nonpartisan stance in its news coverage. I really do think it's too late. Like, I appreciate the sentiment. It's a good thing you're purging the trash. It's a good thing you're trying to clean up. But at this point, like, I don't think that there's any recovery from it, like, for the reasons I already mentioned and don't need to get into again. You'd be way better off just starting over with just keep nothing but the infrastructure and start a whole new network. So Licht started to evaluate the hyperpartisan so-called talent at the network shortly after he joined Communist News Network, as he aimed to dial down the extreme partisanship that has plagued the network in recent years. I want to acknowledge that this is a time of significant change, and I know that many of you are unsettled. Licht said during according to numerous people attending Friday's editorial meeting call, there will be more changes, and you might not understand it or like it. Oh, this is something that these snowflakes needed to hear a decade ago. Warner Brothers Discovery canceled Communist News Network's new subscription streaming service, Communist News Network Minus, earlier this year after experiencing significant struggles in attracting an audience. Wow, you mean to tell me that the far left communists don't have any money to spend on your shitty streaming service? And you chased away everyone that did have money? Oh, how sad is that?